Now, agents are of two types: mercantile agents and non-mercantile agents. Now, mercantile agents are agents who are involved under law and in a customary course of his business in involved in the selling and buying of goods or consigning goods for his principal. When the agent is such who is involved in the buying and selling of goods for his principal, he is known as a mercantile agents. Like the agents of Coca-Colas are mercantile agents. They are involved in the buying and selling of the goods. So agents involved in buying and selling or consigning goods for his principal are mercantile agents. But then again, we have seen that there are another group of agents who are not involved in buying and selling, but they also perform the act of an agent. I mean, they also work for the principal. For example, chartered accountants. They deal with the accounts of the principal, and wherever is necessary, they go to the before the National Board of Revenue and other places to represent their principal. Lawyers are, in fact, legal counsels and lawyers are agents for their particular company, on behalf of whom he is fighting a case in the court of law. They are non-mercantile agents. That means they are agent, they are performing on behalf of the principal, but they are not involved in buying and selling goods. So two types of agent: non-mercantile agents and mercantile agents. There is another group who are known as sub-agent. Sub-agents are those who are being appointed by the mercantile agents. In the process of mercantile activities, mercantile agents are considered to be very strong agents. And there are varied classes of mercantile agents that we'll see afterwards. But these mercantile agents have the authority to do many things. They have the authority to do many things. So they can appoint sub-agent. So when an agent is created, it is the principal who creates an agency. And the agency is written down in a piece of document. The contract is known as deed of agency. What the agent can do, how long the agency will work, what he cannot do what he can do, what he cannot do, how the balance will be taken care of. All those things are there. But then again, this mercantile agent have lot of powers which a principal has. And there are different classes of mercantile agents that I will discuss. And these sub-agents are appointed by the mercantile agents. Principal appoints his agent. The agent appoints the sub-agents. So it's like a step down. Principal to agent, and then agent appoints his sub-agent. There is no contractual relation between the principal and the sub-agent. Principal has nothing to do about the sub-agent. He is not going to appoint. He will only say, this is the target for you. He will ask his agent, this is the target that I want a business of 10 crore taka in the coming financial year. That's all. And this is my code of contract. Do business whatever way you like. So in order to achieve this business, the agent can appoint sub-agent. And this is being done by the agent. So the contractual relation between the sub-agent and agent is separate than the contractual relation between the agent and his principal. There is no reason to believe that there is a contract between the principal and sub-agent. As a matter of fact, there is an implied contract, because whatever the sub-agent does, agent is responsible for that. And through that, principal is also responsible. If I am cheated by a sub-agent, I will catch hold of the sub-agent as a consumer. And the sub-agent will naturally look for his agent because he is under the agent. And through that, the agent principal will come in the loop. That is the idea. But remember, sub-agents are appointed by the agent, not by the principal. In this context, one thing more important to share with you, as I told you before also, that whenever in my handout you see something called please note, that is where you need to look into and give more emphasis. That means there is something different, something unusual, which the teacher is asking you to look into. For example, in my please note here in my handout in the agency, you will find a term called substituted agent. By now we know principal, agent, sub-agent. Two types of agent, mercantile agent, non-mercantile agent. But what then a substituted agent is? Is he an agent or a sub-agent? How he is created? What is his function to do? As a matter of fact, a substituted agent is not a sub-agent because he is not created by the agent. He is created by the principal. So he behaves as if he is an agent of the principal. Let me give an example for you to understand it. Do you remember that from the British period, there were a lot of tea gardens in East Pakistan and Bangladesh, and there are many big tea companies from England. They used to cultivate and go for gardening. Like Duncan is one of them. Duncan Brothers. They used to grow. They have a lot of tea gardens in Sylhet and taken hundreds and acres of land as lease from the government of in Pakistan and from Bangladesh also to do the business. And even there are a lot of lands available for them where they didn't go for a cultivation. I mean, there is no tea garden, but then lands are lying vacant. Supposing ex-Duncan company or something, they decided to sell some of their, say, 500 acre of land with tilas and all those places because they are lying idle. So they talked, the Duncan is a British company, so they talked with their agent in Bangladesh that they want to disinvest, they want to sell their property. Now their agent in Bangladesh, they say, sorry, we will be not any help to you because of the fact we have expertise in selling and buying of tea. We are not broker of lands. We don't have any idea about the buying and selling of lands. So they requested them that will not be of any help to you, but then we can refer you somebody. We can refer you a law firm who works for us. So supposing he referred Kamal Hussain Company and Associates, that they work as our legal advisor. They are good in buying and selling things. I mean, about the landed property and other things, they are good. So you can appoint them to do the job on your behalf. Therefore, what the Duncan have done, they have in touch with this Kamal Hussain and Company and entered into a contract and appointed them an agent of the Duncan to facilitate the sale of the product. Now, here, what is the status of Kamal Hussain and Associates? Are they agent of Duncan Brothers? No. Duncan has separate agents in Bangladesh. They are not even sub-agents because they are not appointed by the agent of the Duncan. They are directly appointed by Duncan Brothers. So these sort of agents are known as substituted agents. You have to understand them. Substituted agents are not sub-agents. They are not even agent, but they are somebody who substitutes the agent for a particular purpose or activity. Understand? Okay. Now, as I told you that mercantile agent itself is a very fascinating topic in the sense that if you open the Contract Act 1872, you will find that there are two types of agents: mercantile agents, non-mercantile agents. As I told you, mercantile agents are involved in the buying and selling and consigning goods for this principle.